You wake up already behind, your inbox is overflowing, your to-do list is mocking you, making fun of you, your brain feels like there's 47 tabs open at once, and no matter how hard you work, you never catch up. Sounds familiar? If you ever felt like you're running a marathon that you never signed up for, you're not alone. High achievers like us, ambitious, driven, constantly pushing forward, are also the ones most likely to feel stretched too thin. The mental load, the pressure to keep up, the guilt of never doing enough. It's exhausting. And yet, most people just accept it as normal. But has it ever occurred to you that overwhelm isn't a badge of honor, it's a trap? Think of your mind like tangled earbuds. The more you try to force your way through, the worse it gets. And if you don't stop to untangle it, you stay stuck in the mess. That's exactly what we're gonna do today, because overwhelm isn't something you have to live with, it's something you can reset. In the next 5 days, I'm going to walk you through my simple 5-step peace framework so we can do a quick and super effective overwhelm detox. Think of this as the reset button for your mind, your schedule, and even your energy. By the end, you'll feel clearer, lighter, and fully in control. But if you skip this, you might find yourself in the same cycle, waking up exhausted, reacting instead of leading, and feeling like no matter how much you do, it's just never enough. But not this time. Let's get started. Day 1, your first day. Prioritize like a CEO. High achievers don't struggle because they're lazy. They struggle because they're just doing too much. Do you ever feel like you have to do everything yourself? Like if you don't handle it, everything will just fall apart. That mindset is just exhausting. For the first day, your challenge is about letting go of what doesn't truly need you so you can focus on what does. So step numero uno, the CEO audit. Figure out what actually needs you. Most people treat their to-do list like a grocery receipt, just adding more and more without even questioning it. But if you want to break free from the overwhelm trap, you need to stop operating like an overworked employee in your own life and start thinking like a CEO. Does this actually require you? Or are you holding on to a habit? Can this be paced for later? Like not everything has to be urgent. Can this be delegated or automated? Because time is your most valuable resource. You know what? Most CEOs don't micromanage every email or every payroll invoice. They focus on the decisions that actually move the needle. And if you want to regain control, you need to start thinking the same way. So here's your challenge. Look at your to-do list and cross off at least one thing that doesn't actually need you. You might feel uncomfortable at first, but trust me, this is where your freedom begins. Step numero dos, delegate one thing. No excuses. Let me guess, you know you could delegate, but you don't. Maybe you think it's faster to do it by yourself. Maybe you feel guilty asking for help. Maybe you think that no one else can do it right. I get it. I used to think the same way. I told myself I can do it, so why asking for help? But what I was missing was the real question. What is my time actually worth? If you spend hours doing $10 tasks, how will you ever create $10,000 results? If you're constantly busy with the same things, when will you ever have time to do the big things? I had a moment of clarity when I finally outsourced house cleaning. At first, I resisted. Like I said, I can do this myself, I thought. But when I finally let go, not only did I get my time back, my home became happier because the people cleaning it, actually, they love what they did. That's when I realized delegation is not a loss of control. It's actually a strategy for growth. So here's your challenge. Pick one task, that you can delegate today, even if it feels uncomfortable. Give someone else a chance to step up. Honestly, this could be letting your partner handle dinner, outsourcing a task, or even something as simple as getting your kids involved in the chores. And if you're thinking, but I don't have anybody to delegate to, then it's time to build your support system. Because guess what? Nobody achieves success alone. Step number 3, accept help without guilt. Let me tell you a story. My husband and I once got food poisoning at the same time while taking care of our little baby. Our neighbors offered to help, but we say, no, we got this. We didn't want to bother them. You know what? Looking back, that was ridiculous. We made it harder on ourselves for absolutely no reason. But we learned the lesson. And later on, when my coworkers offered to send food during a very tough time, I finally said yes. And guess what? It didn't just help me, it made them happy too, because people want to help, but you have to let them. So here's your challenge. If someone offers to help you today, just say yes. See, no excuses, no guilt, just accept it. Because here's the truth. Every time you say no to help, you're choosing struggle over ease. And the sooner you stop trying to do everything alone, the sooner you start feeling lighter. Step 4, teach somebody else to step up. Delegation is not just about getting things out of your plate, it's about empowering others to grow. I'll tell you a funny and personal story. A while ago, I hired my 10-year-old son to edit my first YouTube videos. And not only did I get to upload a task that I really didn't enjoy, but he learned a skill. He earned some money, and without realizing, he soaked it up. All the personal development, everything, while watching my content over and over. Smart. So delegation is not about dumping tasks on others. It's a tool for growth. That's a little bit of a reframe. It teaches responsibility, independence, and leadership. And yes, your kids, your team, your family, they can handle way more than you think. So here's your challenge. Instead of just doing something today, teach someone else to do it. How to do it. This is how we start untangling the mess, because the less time you spend drowning in tasks, the more time you have for what actually matters. Day 2, eat to eliminate the guilt. The second day of the Overwhelm Detox Challenge, we're talking something that weighs heavier than any to-do list: guilt. That little voice that tells you you're not doing enough, you're not present enough, you're not perfect enough. But let's be real, who even decides what perfect looks like? So today we're dropping the weight, we're releasing it, because guilt is not a proof that you care, it's proof that you're holding yourself to impossible standards. Step 1, define success on your own terms. If you ask 100 people what success looks like, you're gonna get what? 100 different answers. So why chasing a definition that is not even yours? Stop trying to meet standards that do not belong to you. Stop measuring yourself against expectations you never set. Instead, let's create your own definition. So here's your challenge. Write down your personal definition of success. Not society's, not family, not social media, not the neighbors, yours. For me, success is not about being everywhere, doing everything, or keeping a perfect home. My definition is simple: giving my family fun and meaningful experiences. That's what I prioritize, and that's what I measure myself by. That's my North Star. Everything else, optional. Once you define your own version of success or definition of success, you can finally stop chasing somebody else's. Step 2, drop one expectation that does not serve you. Most of the pressure you feel comes from invisible rules you've never questioned. Today, you're going to break one. So here's your challenge. Pick one expectation that's been making you feel guilty. Drop it. Maybe it's believing that you have to answer every single email instantly. Maybe it's feeling like you have to do everything yourself. Maybe it's thinking that you need to keep a perfect home at all times. Let it go, like the song, let it go, because no one is judging you as harshly as you are judging yourself. Step 3, presence over perfection. Here's what I wish somebody had told me sooner. Perfection doesn't create connection. Think about that. Presence does. Your best moments are not gonna be coming from doing everything 100% right. They're gonna be coming from fully showing up. So here's your challenge. Do one but meaningful day to day, free from distractions. Put your phone down and have a real conversation. Take 5 minutes to sit in silence and breathe. Say yes to joy without guilt. Guilt thrives in the gap between where you are and where you think you should be. But today, you're closing the gap. You're stepping into your own definition of success, letting go of unnecessary pressure and choosing presence over, you got it, perfection. Now let me know in the comments what's one rule that you're choosing to ignore. Now let's go to see what's happening on the third day. Day 3, automate, simplify, and breathe easier. For the third day, we're tackling something that silently steals your energy. You wanna know what? Chaos. The endless cycle of chores, meals, bills, clutter that keeps you stuck in survival mode, because chances are you're doing way too much manually. Successful people don't just work hard, they work smart. And today, you're making your life easier by automating, simplifying, and systemizing the things that drain you. Step 1, identify your biggest energy drains. Stress is not about having too much to do. It's about wasting energy on things that don't deserve it. Today, we are fixing that. Take a moment and ask yourself, what's one thing that stresses me out every single day? Can I automate it? Can I simplify it? Can I put a system on it? So your challenge today is to write down one thing that stresses you out every single day. Is it keeping up with emails? Is it meal planning? Is it never-ending chores? Now, instead of pushing through the craziness, let's make it easier. Number 2, create a system that works for you. That's what systems do. They don't take away the magic, they just make it effortless. And system, honestly, they don't have to be complicated. Think of using like a stencil instead of painting by hand. Same result, But guess what? Faster and less effort. Here are some simple systems that changed everything for me. Auto-pay bills, no more stress over any missed payments. You can batch tasks. Instead of scrambling every day, dedicate set times for set tasks. Decluttering in stages starts with one messy drawer or shelf or area at a time. So today your challenge is to pick one thing that you can automate, simplify, or systemize today. Let me tell you, your future self will thank you. Which brings us to step number 3. Clear your space, clear your mind. Your environment is a reflection of your mental state. When my husband and I finally declutter our offices, we didn't just free up space, we freed up energy for creativity and more focus. The moment we remove unnecessary distractions, everything just felt lighter. So pick one space in your home, your office, or even digital life that is cluttered and clear it. Delete all emails, organize your workspace, remove what no longer serves you. Because simplicity is not about doing less, it's about making room for what matters. So let's move on for day 4 of the challenge. Day 4, communicate and set boundaries. On the 4th day, we're tackling something that feels stress and burnout without you even realizing it. Miscommunication, because more often than not, feeling overwhelmed is not about having way too much to do. It's about everyone around you marching to different orders. So step 1, align with the people who matter. If you feel like you or your partner, team, or family, they're just always out of sync, ask yourself, when was the last time you actually sat down and got everybody on the same page? For my husband and me, the answer was what we call the harmony huddles. Every 2 to 3 weeks, we sit down and we go over our business goals, our family finances, upcoming vacation. Honestly, even what do our kids need? Each of them, what do they want? Anything else that help us support each other better? It's simple, intentional practice that eliminates the misunderstandings before they even happen. So try it for yourself. So when you try your harmony huddle, just let me know, because for us it has been a game changer. Can't wait to hear about your experience. So your challenge is to schedule a quick check-in with the people who impact your daily life. Your partner, are you aligned in priorities, your stressors and responsibilities? Your team, do they know your expectations or are they just guessing? Your family, are they aware of your needs or are you assuming that they just know? Small miscommunications turn into big stress. So fix them before they become problems. Step 2, listen before you react. One of the best lessons I learned came back from when my son was 7 years old. He was so upset and I immediately asked him, what's wrong? Because I thought I said something, I did something wrong. And honestly, he took time, and when he came back, he said, Mom, when I'm upset, the worst thing you can do is just asking me why. Just give me space so I can think, and when I'm ready, I will talk. That moment taught me something huge. Sometimes real communication is not about asking more, it's about giving space. That day I learned that truly listening means supporting people the way they need, not just the way I assume they do. So today, instead of assuming, just pause and truly listen. If someone seems off, give them time instead of pressing them for answers. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Some of the best conversations happen when you just allow them to unfold naturally. Ask fewer questions, give more presence. Because when people feel heard, they open up in ways that honestly you don't even expect. Step 3, set and enforce a boundary without guilt. Let me tell you a personal story. I once had a boss who emailed me almost every day at 11 p.m., almost at midnight. And I was so frustrated thinking, does he even expect me to be available 24/7? Then I realized he never actually said that. I trained him to think that I was always available because I kept responding. So I made a simple change. I stopped replying after 5 p.m. and told him, if there's ever an emergency, please text me. And you know what happened? Nothing. No more late night emails, no urgent messages, and I got my evenings and my peace back. So think about one area of your life where you need a boundary and then enforce it. Is it work emails after hours? Then stop replying. Endless favors? Say no with confidence. Overbook schedule? Then block off personal time and protect it. People respect the boundaries you set, but only if you actually set them. Today was incredible. You just took control of your communication, your time, and your boundaries. And tomorrow we go even deeper, because there's one resource even more valuable than time. You're asking like, Jenny, really? Yes, let's talk about it. Your energy. Day 5, you guessed that energy is your greatest resource. I mean, think about it. You can have all of the time in the world. But if you're drained and tired, exhausted, it doesn't even matter. Energy, not time, is your most valuable resource. And today, we're going to protect it like if your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. When was the last time you accomplished something incredible while feeling exhausted and hunched over and running out of every kind of energy you had? Probably never. That's because your best decisions, your best ideas, your best moments happen when your energy is at its peak. So step one, fill your cup first. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It creeps up when you're constantly pushing through exhaustion and put yourself last. And when burnout hits, nothing good comes from it. Now I want you to think, when was the last time that you felt truly alive and focused and excited, feeling unstoppable? That's not an accident. That's your body telling you what it needs more of. So your challenge, pick one habit that fills your energy tank and commit to it. Move your body, walk, stretch, dance, whatever feels good. And remember to fuel yourself properly with hydration and real food over sugar crashes. Find out a creative outlet. Painting, music, even doodling can recharge your mind. Get outside. Nature is a powerful reset button. Your energy is not something that you get when you have time. It's something you generate by taking action. So instead of waiting until you're completely drained, do the opposite. Stay ahead of it. Be proactive. Stay ahead of that burnout. Step 2, identify your energy drains. Energy leaks are everywhere. Distractions, toxic environments, even our own habits. And the problem is that most of us don't even realize what's draining us until we're already exhausted. So today your challenge is to identify one thing that secretly drains your energy every day. Is it mindless scrolling? Set limits or take a detox. Maybe it's too many open loops. Close them. Unfinished tasks weigh on you more than you think. Honestly, it's the negative people. Limit your time with them. Your energy is like a bank account. If you're constantly withdrawing and never depositing it, you're going to be running on empty. Step number 3, eliminate overwhelm and redefine your reality. Here's something that changed everything for me. You wanna know? I eliminated the word overwhelm from my vocabulary. Every time I said I was overwhelmed, I felt it even more. It reinforced the very thing I was trying to escape. So instead of letting stress spiral out of control, I replaced it with something else, and it's bliss. Your change today is to replace overwhelm with something better. Maybe it's bliss as well. When stress creeps in, instead of saying, I'm drowning, I'm just exhausting, just say, I'm adjusting. When chaos builds up, instead of thinking, I can handle this, just say, I'm refocusing. When things feel out of your control, just check in with this framework, peace, and make a shift. Overwhelm is not your reality, it's just a signal. But now you have the tools to shift out of it fast. This year, I made a conscious decision. I'm working towards bliss. And whenever stress creeps in, I don't fight it. I just check in with my peace, the framework that we just learned, and just adjust what's needed. In all honesty, this is not just about me. My kids, my husband, my team, they're all watching, and they're learning how I manage my energy every single day. 5 days, 5 powerful shifts, and now it's time to make them your new normal. Overwhelm is not your story anymore. You have the tools, you have the mindset, and most importantly, you have the power to shape your life on your terms. So what's next? Keep simplifying, keep protecting your energy, keep showing up as your best self for you and for the people that you love. This is not the end, this is just the beginning. By the way, if you're tired of feeling invisible, scattered, or unsure of what truly sets you apart, I put together a free resource packed with the best advice I've given my clients, the exact insights that made the biggest impact for them. It will help you uncover your real superpower so you can stop wasting energy on things that don't serve you and start building an intentional personal brand that actually works for you. Link is down below. Thank you for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe, and share with those that you love and think that could benefit from less overwhelm.